Oh, hello everyone, and welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando. It's May 6th, 7:41 p.m. Thank you so much for being live with us. I'm right here with John and Paola. Unfortunately, we are flirting with disaster. We are going through some really big tumbles on the MLS wave, and it doesn't look very good. Actually, I was getting a drink right there at the obviously non-alcoholic water, from the fridge, communications. It was hot, and I hear goal. No, what? It was like 10 seconds, man. What's going on here? So yeah, so it started pretty bad, and it ended pretty bad. So we'll discuss everything that happened against Cincinnati and what expectations we have for the rest of the games. We have Philly coming up, and then we also have Inter Fort Lauderdale. No, according to our communications communications ad right there in the stadium, Inter Fort Lauderdale. Which I don't know how we're gonna pull this off, but we have to find that inner line in us. With me is John and Paola. Paola, how are you? Welcome back. How you been?
Doing great, even though that we got that lose on Saturday. But I'm doing good because we're doing this because we love doing this. So we love our club, and we are here through thick and thin. So I'm doing good, Luis.
How are you, John? I know it's probably not a good times. I mean, good times for the other side, but not good times for Orlando City.
I'm good, man. I didn't actually go to this game because I'm getting ready to move, so I got a whole bunch of not out of Orlando, just in Orlando. So I got like a bunch of stuff I had to do on Saturday. I just didn't have time to make it out to the game, so I watched this one at home. Cringing and shouting and effing and blinding, and at the stadium I'm a little bit more reserved. Like Paula will tell you, like I'm, reserved a little bit. But at home, it was just me on my own watching this game. So yeah, I was frustrated, Luis, to say the least. I'm surprised I didn't throw something at my TV with all the chances that we didn't get. But another game and another chance for 3 points gone, Luis. So at the end of the day, we're slipping further down that table, 9 points from 10 games. Not a good start.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a good start. Let's start by going through the lineup, right? And we got it completely wrong. I do want to say we got one wrong, and the one that we got wrong is Brecalo, right? Brecalo, um, right here. We had the lineup right here with Galese up top. We have Schlegel, and Schlegel started instead of Brecalo, and then with Robin Jensen and Santos and Thorhausen. On paper, it seemed okay. So this is what Pareja wants to do, and it is unfortunate. Cincinnati figured us out completely, and it kind of seemed like we were playing a 2023 version of Orlando City. You know, pressing when the other team is in transition, everyone going for the press. They overpopulated the midfield, I feel at times. And our back line, especially Rodrigo, when Yuya Kubo was gonna go 1v1 with Galese, he got the red, and then we played with 10 men for almost more than half the game, and that completely changed everything. Now, what are your thoughts regarding the lineup, Paola? This first lineup. I'm gonna try to find a better picture right now. So, but what are your initial thoughts regarding
Yeah,
that Oscar put out?
I mean, no. For me, no surprises because of the matter that Brecalo was out injured in the last game, so I knew that Schlegel had a possibility to be starting. Um, what I was impressed, it was Torres as a 10 and like an official 10 and not Nico there. I thought that Nico was gonna start and then Ojeda's gonna come from the bench. So those were my two big ones that I was like, oh, okay. So Torres is on the 10. That's fine. So let's see. Um regarding we were pressing, but not in the first minute, obviously. We got a little bit sleep. Jansen, I don't know. Like I was watching the highlights before the podcast, unfortunately, even though that it was against me, because I was cringing while I was watching the highlights, but I had to do it, even though they were painful. But I wanted it to see the Rodrigo red card, and I know that we're not talking about that as of yet, but needed to watch those. And I saw the replay of the goal, and that was on Jansen 100%. So yeah, no surprises in the formation though. We come back at 4-3-2-1. So
What about you, John?
I think when Brecalo wasn't fit enough, according to Oscar and the team, so they went with Schlegel. I don't have a massive problem with that, except from we don't know whenever Schlegel's gonna Schlegel, right? We don't know when
Have a
Rodri's
great
gonna.
game.
We don't know when Rodri's gonna Rodri, all right? I think like by that I mean we don't know when he's gonna do the error like he did to get the red card. So it's always a risk putting him in, and this is one of those games where he costs us. Do I blame Oscar for putting him in? No, not really, because he can have games where he plays well and that doesn't happen. So it's sort of just out of necessity we had to put Schlegel in, but the rest of the lineup, it's not. Faku was playing on the right. I don't know why they always get it wrong on TV, but yeah, Ojeda in the 10. I think again though, it's the continuation of the 4-2-3-1, and that's what we want to see. Even though we didn't get the result, there's some consistency here. Also, Faku was playing left wing and Angulo was playing right wing again.
Correct.
Which I liked when we talked about that, the wingers being wingers.
No, I do have to say, and I do have to not agree, it was not the best game for Facundo Torres. I mean, honestly, it was not.
I mean,
0.01 xG or a
DP.
Like, yeah, that says it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's. I mean, it's just not up to the level that we definitely hoped for this season. Great game by Ivan Angulo. I think he carried the offense at times on the right side with Dagerdan, Thor Halson and Cesar that had a great game. I think the double pivot had a how do I say this? The double pivot disappeared after the red card because Wilder had to play center back. So you had Cesar Araujo, which he's overly physical. I was surprised he didn't get well, I mean, he did get a yellow, but Luciano Costa, also Yuya Kubo, Obina, and Wodo, and I forgot her name, how to pronounce his name, and Wodo. He did. They overpowered him. Yeah, no Wobodo. They overpowered him. I mean, and at times, also I do have to say, the constant touching of the ball in the mid and passing it back, and then them pressing forward, it just literally pushed our whole squad to be just defending most of the game, and it just made them feel so much powerful. Now I do have to say they couldn't slot another one in, and that is maybe because of the back line. And if there's a positive, Rafa Santos had a good game. Dagger Dan before the injury had a good game. But in Cartagena, I think he did great as a semi center back right there with Jensen. But they couldn't get another one in. They were very close, but they couldn't get one in. Now it could have been worse, John. It could have been. This could have ended up if they would have scored the chances they had easily a 3-0. Do you believe so?
No. Honestly, I think we played better ball with less men. And people might think I'm crazy, but
I agree.
I think
No,
this
no, no.
team
I
played
agree. I
really,
agree.
really well with 10 men. And if you look at the momentum, Luis, it's like the beginning of the game, yes, complete mess up. Take that to one side for a second. Then the next like 20, 30 minutes up until Rodri's goal red card was all us. We were attacking at a rate and a speed and aggression that I have not seen from us this year. Then Rodri gets the red card and we have to shift. We have to change. But then, even then, we don't let them get the second goal. And I think we had multiple chances and we're really unlucky not to get the equalizer and maybe even steal a win. Like with 10, I genuinely feel
for sure
that
I
for
thought that
the
we were gonna tie.
situation that we were in, they played really well. And you could blame them for getting in that situation. Like I blame Rodri for sure. And I blame them for messing up in the first 20 seconds of the game. But after that, they handled it pretty well.
Yeah, and what do you think about what John said, Paula?
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Like we were a better team with 10 men and with all the calls against us because that ref was not being a FIFA ref. He was calling it was like a WWE match between the players and no calls. So despite the two big errors between the first goal and not defending and sleeping in because it's the first minute, right? Oh no, they're not gonna score. Well, there you go. And despite Rodri bad tackle, he should have like I was watching the replay and he should have like let Galese try to defend and he can go back and try to I don't know, try to defend but not tackle that person like that player. So, I mean, it could have been the Red Bulls versus Fort Lauderdale of 6-0, no 6-1 or 5-1. I don't know. So it could have been. It could. But for me, we play better with 10 minutes. Unfortunately. That's because I was optimistic. We had the momentum in the beginning. I don't know if it was the fuel from that first goal, from that sloppiness in the first seconds. And you know how the boys have they wake up after a first goal, unfortunately. But Schlegel being Schlegel, cost us a little bit of the game, but we managed and tried. And at some point, we have 9 men because of Dagger concussion, and they
Yep.
didn't put another player super fast. So it was like 4 minutes without like 9 men. So
At the end of the first half, that was really long, like that 10 minutes extra in the
seven
first half.
minutes. Yeah, it was 7 minutes, I think, extra time. And out
So
of
that's
those
bad.
seven
So that's
minutes,
bad on Cincinnati for not being able to capitalize. You're playing
for
against.
sure, for
You know
sure,
what I mean?
100%.
So. Let's read some comments real quick. We're about 45 people live right now, 36 people on X, and about 10 people on YouTube. Thank you so much for your support. Drop us a thumbs up. If you're on X, retweet the video that you're watching. Retweet it. So we'll kindly appreciate it. It will recommend people to come see us. JCB's 95. Didn't Cartagena get an elbow to the face in the second half? I remember seeing something like that. Yeah, but I think he exaggerated a bit.
It was a Wilder special.
Yeah, it was kind of like he exaggerated, and then the ref called him out on it. Stream Jesus, I felt I was at a WrestleMania with that ref. Paola spitting facts. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Stream Jesus. JC Beast. We are more aggressive with 1 down than with 11.
That's sad.
Yep. This says that David Albury. The way they played a man down was admirable for sure, but they should have never been put in that situation. I mean, it was either David. It was either I stop him by all means necessary, or I just let him score on Pedro.
You know, what's that
Do
like
you
meme?
feel
What's the meme of the guy who's like sliding forever?
right?
I feel like it's that. Like Rodri is absolutely nowhere near him when he goes to the
Yeah.
ground, and he spends about 5 minutes flying along the floor with his leg in the air towards the player. So no wonder the ref, like from behind on that challenge, like Rodri, like what? Just don't make that. Like be smarter. Like that's not, even if you win the ball, you're at risk of getting a foul or getting a penalty there. So
Now,
it's just stupid.
yeah, that should have never. I mean, that shouldn't even. I don't know why that went to VAR. That was a straight red. Like
I mean,
when I saw it,
it's ridiculously stupid. I
I
mean,
was
you looked
like,
at it for a good time, but it's like
I was
obviously.
confused because normally they stop the play and then if they have to review, they go and review it. But it was like a minute in, and then we have a corner, and then all of a sudden, VAR. I'm like, what the heck happened? So yeah.
yeah. So calling OCSC, Cartagena robbed by our DP, who should have been scoring instead. Negative XG for Facu. LOL. There you go. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate it. Opinions on Schlegel. Personally, I think I've seen enough to be ready for a new replacement. I mean, look, let me be devil's advocate here. I think Schlegel is a great backup. He's not poised to be a starter. I give you that. Now, maybe we should start grooming one of the other center backs that we have there in OCB. I mean, hell, you got Abdi Salim, you got Thomas Williams, I mean, you could do that, but right now we have to see, maybe they would get some time, but I feel with Colin in a way too. I don't know what you think, Paola. I feel like this may be the last year that Schlegel's in the team.
Well, maybe. I don't see him as a starting lineup. I see him as a backup. He's a backup. For me, he's a backup. Yes, he has stepped in when we need him, but this is the type of things that you cannot do this type of things. So maybe it's a replacement what we need. We don't know yet. So let's see what happens.
Christopher Bragdon, where was the mark on Acosta? Look, I know for a fact the team did not watch the preview that LPO made, because otherwise they would have marked Acosta.
Well,
because
Jansen knew about him because remember he said that.
Oh yeah, he said that guy.
He was like that Acosta guy. So clearly he took that as a defense and decided to embarrass Jansen.
Yep, there you go. JCB's 95. Buenas noches, everyone. Tough loss. The team has more than this to offer. You're completely right, JC Beast. David Albury, what's up, everyone? What's up, my friend? Not doing so great, but we're here. Any good word on Thiago Silva? That's the man we need right now for sure. In my respectable opinion, we need him to scream at the defense. Well, the rumor
is done. He's gone to Brazil, right?
Yeah, he's in Fluminense now. He's gonna be Antonio Carlos's partner. You imagine that center back duo? I bet Antonio Carlos is like, man, I made a great decision right now. It's like, I'm gonna be playing with Thiago.
Or he's Silva. Not gonna play at all now because Thiago's gonna take his spot.
So now, David Albury, he was too short to mark. That's a good one. So let's see the first goal, because I think it's important to watch.
Let me close my eyes.
What's funny in 2000, the announcer, if you listen to the announcer, the commentator, sorry, he's barely even finished his introduction, and then he has to go straight into the and Luciano scored a goal. Like
look, let's listen.
24, the Lions' roar has been muted. Cincinnati, despite notable.
Oh, come on, man.
Look. the person who was saying that he needed to defend that person.
Exactly, dude. And not only that, but Cartagena just goes running and overruns Robin.
Bumps in the road.
Formed in a moment's notice, and he's right next to Jansen, not in the space between Dagger and Jansen where he should be.
Yeah. Look, I commend Wilder for running and at least trying to tackle this guy. You know what I mean?
But also,
Marching
like
on.
it's all that together.
Yeah. Now, if he would have actually made contact with Acosta, it would have been a penalty because Luciano was gonna he was gonna sell it for sure.
And marching into the box
But
for a very early
yeah, that's
Charge.
horrible. That was really bad.
I can't
in
watch
which
this
they take the
anymore.
lead through Acosta.
Luis,
There you
this
go.
is punishment, man. This is punishment.
I would like
Look at
if
Alyssa's face. Look,
people were, but listen, if I was the defensive coach today, I would have been like, give me 100 laps. I don't know, like punishment for all the backline for that little moment. Just for
that
penalty.
guy had to be at least 4'9". That's right.
Literally.
Look, Cincinnati found early success. 22 seconds. It's the fastest goal in FC Cincinnati history. The fastest goal in FC Cincinnati history. And it was the deciding goal of the match. Well, now, I do want to say that, and I don't know, look, again, this is just my perception. To me, the best player in this game, and I know Alonso, if Alonso Contreras, if he's watching, he's going to agree with me because he's one of the Peruvian guys. Wilder, I think, had a phenomenal game. Now, the man of the match was Duncan.
I was confused by that.
But if you look at the poll, you know how many people voted? 78 people. 78 people. 78 people voted.
I don't vote when we lose, man. There's no man of the match when we lose, in my opinion. They only do it because they have to. I just found it funny because
it's like 21. It was like 21,000 people. It was like 78 people just voted for that. But
nobody wants to vote for that.
So I mean, the early red, it's. I mean, we could watch the early red right now if you want. Let me see.
You want to watch Schlegel do his power slide?
Let's do it. Let's see. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no!
Look how far away he is.
He's like, no, I didn't contact him.
There you go. Okay, here we go. Another one that had a phenomenal.
4 shots at 3 corners, and they've had slightly more of the ball, but it is
like that right there.
That was Wilder who gave up that ball. Wilder.
I'm telling you, this whole passing back thing, dude. And I told Profe too. I was like, why are they over touching the ball, passing it back? It looks like it looks like one of our teams from Peru. Like a lot of teams in Peru.
Remind me of 2018. So we passed a lot to the back.
Yeah, they passed back. Yeah, you see right there. Right there, I think it was Wilder.
That was Wilder, man. Wilder.
But that should have been Schlegel. He should have been Schlegel. It was a short pass that it was really not. It was a turnover, and Roger was out of position and also probably not able to control the speed of Yuya Kubo. So you can see right here.
If you want to go flying in, Luis, go flying in here.
100.
This is the time to make that rash tackle. Don't.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right here, he should have maybe slide right here. Right. So but here we go. Oh, now Yuya Kubo's speed. You see how he changed pace in like 2 seconds, and Roger had no idea what was happening. Boom. There's no way. Look at, and obviously Gales is gonna go do the cross. Like he's gonna do the.
Look, Luis. His feet have already left the ground.
Yep.
Look what.
Yep.
There's no way. What are you, Superman?
Yep.
He should have been behind Galese or something like that. I don't know.
No. Galese could have gotten it.
Could have. Yeah,
Now,
that's
He
what I'm saying.
basically
Like,
did
what
get
happened?
it.
yeah, I mean, but Galese, he was going to the direction of the ball, and there you go, man. That was a horrible tackle, man. When I saw that, I was like, that's a fucking red. Sorry, that's a red card. And everyone was like, oh, well, VAR, they're going to VAR. It's like, that's a red card. He is the last man in front of the keeper. That's a red card. Tackle from behind.
I'm gonna get a beer
mean-
after watching
I
that.
mean, they're supposed
Yeah.
to like stop the play right here, right?
And this is the thing that I don't understand, why this should have been a straight red. There was no need to go to VAR, because I mean, I am a reporter and I know the rules, so I'm sure a
They
referee
wanted it
knows
to
more
test
than
a
me.
new thing.
I don't know, but like on the carton, look at that. I think he tripped on himself trying to run. He didn't even touch him.
Yeah, but
He
the guy had
touched
so much time to
him.
pull the
Oh,
ball.
no,
He
no,
touched
yeah,
him.
he
No,
did.
no, he
Yeah,
touched
he
him in
did.
the
Yeah,
in
it
the
did.
Yeah, he
It was his
feeling
other
right.
foot. If he would
could
have
have pulled his leg out at that point.
yeah. Like, I mean, look, we're judging based on, what would have Rodri done? I mean, we're not. You could have just stick your leg to the other side.
I mean, there's red cards where I'm like, okay, you went for the challenge. I get what you're trying to do. This, I'm just like, no, you shouldn't be making that challenge. It was never gonna work, and it was.
I
never
think
gonna
Galese
result
would
in
have
anything but a
grabbed it.
foul.
Yeah, I think Galese would have grabbed it, or at least Galese would have gotten a red card. But right there, because of his foot is right on his calf, it's a red card.
That's a red card. Yeah.
Even if it's a tap, because it was a tap, it is a red card. You go with intent to tackle the player from behind, the last player in front of the keeper. Boom, it's a red card. Straight red.
A Wilders.
And
Wilders.
now,
What
the
are you doing, bro?
Wilder goal, and this is another thing that really made headlines all over the internet. Even in Peru, actually, they put it the purple team. They didn't even call the name of the team. I don't know if this is an American thing. I've never seen it. I know in South America they say the actual names of the squads of the actual clubs.
For me,
by number 50, the purple team. Oh, tripping.
So
He didn't even, go and
No.
try to convince. He knew.
No. I know we're the purple team. But I think he kind of sounded a little bit. He sounded like Scarface a little bit. You notice that? No, honestly, I think it's a great thing that they're doing, actually announcing the VAR calls. I think it's gonna be super comical. I think it's great. Let's read some comments here. David Albert, he's laughing. Daniel Phillips, thank you so much. Rodri flays like a Muppet when he plays. He literally plays like his hair is on fire. It says, come on, guys. This is a roast session against Schlegel.
I'm sorry. It is,
I mean,
but sometimes
I
he needs a
mean-
roast session, Stream Jesus. Sometimes
Don't
Schlegel messes
apologize.
up.
Misael Rosa, don't apologize. These losses bring out F-bombs in all of us. You're completely right, Misael. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate that. Guilla Carlos, don't be sorry. That was a fucking red. Yeah, it's right. Yeah, if you're listening to this and you have your child, you're driving in the car, I don't want to see this guy. David Albert, being in the wall and watching this I5, I was in
This
I5.
was like in slow motion, I think.
It was like in slow
like in
motion.
slow motion coming to Watson. Yeah.
Announced Marco Royce. Man, I would.
He's got to be like 105 now, right? How old is
He's
Marco
like
Royce?
I think he's 33.
Marco Royce was on the 2011 Dortmund.
Yeah, he's 34. He's
Bundesliga team. So
Yeah,
He was in
up there.
kindergarten. I'm just kidding.
he's up there.
But doesn't he? Nani, at what time did he came to Orlando? 32.
Hey, if he's
I
in
think
good
33.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So sure. I mean, we already got a 34-year-old. We already got
No
we got
comment.
Nico. That's okay. These thank you. Vote him man of the match and losses is lame. There you go. Same here, Luis. Aside from the first minute, Cartagena had a solid game. That's right, JCB's. Like, yeah, me and Alonso were like, yo, why are people voting? Like, fucking 78 people voting?
I was
Like,
confused
come
on
on.
that too.
And Duncan even got it. He barely.
Bro, the picture of
Uh,
Duncan like holding there, he just looks so miserable. He's like,
I
Yeah.
haven't seen
I
it.
don't
I
want
haven't
this.
seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
Oh yeah, it's good.
The defense let him through from Cartagena to Rodrigo. They let Pedro exposed. That's right. And
Yeah.
he was gonna do the best he could, and I'm sure he's probably gonna get cooked online if, let's say, Yuya Kua would have scored on him. He said, "Oh, he could have done more." Right? Don't forget, Galese had that 1-on-1 and saved it. Cut my boy some slack. That was extremely hard to do. There you go. Man of the match, Kendrick Lamar. There you go. That's a good one. But okay, so we're looking at what happened right here, and let's look at Cartagena's golazo. I feel, because
Oh man,
that
was a great
was
defense
that
play.
Angulo goes.
That's
Yeah,
Angulo.
that-
That's on the.
Yeah,
Like,
that
look,
was Angulo's.
Look, this right here, Miles Robinson, he's gonna be a starter in the national team.
It
That
was-
right there tells.
It was Murphy
I'll-
cleared off the line.
It was Ian Murphy.
Yeah,
I
it was
think it was
Murphy.
No, I mean, if he would have shot it right there and then, it
He
probably
would have
would've
shot
been
it to the
goal.
corner. It was a
Probably.
different story.
Do we blame Angulo for that, or you just feel like
No,
really
no, it was
unlucky?
hard. No, it was just
He
a
did
hard,
so
and it
well
was a
to
great
get around the
defense.
guy, and then he thinks
Yeah,
I've got this, and
he-
he comes out of nowhere to clear it off the freaking line. Come
Yeah,
on.
he had, it was a baseball save.
Started effing and blinding around my house, so he's
Like, look, I want to show you
yes,
something right
man.
here. I want to show you something right here. Look, so for everybody that's watching, like right there, like you have Facu going to play defensively. You gotta be aggressive, man. Like, don't give me this right here. And I know if you're listening to it, I feel like he's being too passive, or he's afraid to tackling. Like, look at that. Like, he's just pushes, like he recovers the ball right there. But there was one that I'll find it, where he's going there to, I don't know if he attempt to tackle, and then he just lets the guy through. It's like look, if you're gonna tackle the guy. Like, you have nothing to lose, man.
And
Like-
and I will say something about that. That's something that Ojeda is doing. He's more aggressive on the defensive side.
Yeah, it is.
The fact was not it. And I didn't understand that sub, but that's a different story.
Okay, is this the goal that got disallowed? Let me see.
We don't see the kick point.
So
It was by inches
See, gone
of
early, there's a
Facu being outside.
now,
So thanks.
when I spoke to Profe Oscar, he said, to us, this should have gone to VAR. He said it from the beginning of the press conference, and this should have been revised, because for us, that was a legitimate goal. He was onside.
Well, they did review it very quickly.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
heard that, so
Yeah, I know. So,
yeah, I don't. It's
The
not.
push
I,
there is
like,
I understand from where he was, like, because
12
he's. I
on
don't.
Kelsey
I,
as a
they look at these things on the bench, Luis. So
Yeah.
he's looking
Yeah.
at he's looking at that. So I don't know. I think it's a very tight offside. It is offside for Facu. He's leading just ahead of the defender,
a
and then
mini
he
inch.
influences and pushes the guy and heads the ball. So he's in the play, and it's a shame, man. But like, yeah, this was just one of the goals that we didn't get for various reasons that we could have got, and this one just happened to be that Facu was slightly offside. Really frustrating, but
It was a
Correct
nice
call.
shot for Wilder.
now, I want to give kudos to Mr. Sid from Opta, right there upstairs, there at the office. Phenomenal job that they do. Him and Trevor Trudell, I want to give him kudos too. From the name that keeps repeating on the stats, 34 completed passes, Wilder Cartagena, he's top 2. Most completed passes throughout the whole 90 minutes was Robin Jansen with 40. Also, Wilder Cartagena in chances created. Orlando, the whole game created 6 chances. Out of those 6 chances, Wilder created 2, Ivan Angulo created 2, Rafa Santos 1, and Martin Ojeda 1. Now, Martin Ojeda probably, if he would have stayed, he would have probably created a little more. Now, we're going to read your comments in just a second. What do you think about Oscar subbing out Ojeda to put another center back? He put Brecalo in. When I asked him that question, he said it was to give more defensive help to the wing backs, because Angulo ended up playing wing back with Santos. What do you think about that, John?
I think Paula has a strong opinion on this, and it's probably the same as mine, so I'll let her go.
No, you can go. It's fine. No. So here's the thing. When I was thinking, okay, who's going to go out? Obviously, because of the red card. And I'm like, it shouldn't be, it cannot be the double pivot, because we need to be defensively as much as we can to not concede another goal. So I was looking to our weakest link in the front. And unto this day, Facu should have been subbed out instead of Ojeda. That's my opinion. Because Ojeda has been the most created offensive player this year, connects with Duncan, and Duncan was playing the man of the match. And Facu barely touched the ball. Is barely touching the ball in the games. When he touched the ball, he touches 2 lefties, and then the ball is gone. He's getting defended all the time. So that was at that point I was a little bit frustrated, because I was confused. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know if Facu, because he's number 10, he needs to be on the field, but that for me that was not a smart move. I don't know if you agree with me, John.
Yeah, I mean, I think Oscar had to make the substitution to fix the situation.
Yeah, he didn't want to.
He had to do something, and I agree with what he said in the press conference, that he had to help out the wingers, like the fullbacks. So he put Wilder to kind of drop a little deeper, and that means we had to sacrifice an attacking mid. You're not going to take out one of your D mids in that situation. It's going to really open you up. When you go down a player, you have to sacrifice an attacking player. He wasn't going to take Duncan off, so it was between Facu, Angulo, and Ojeda. And I think Angulo's always good in the transition, and we're going to have to play transition games, so he's not going to take him out. It's between Facu and Ojeda, and I agree with Paula. I think Facu he did little to nothing in this game, and it's been a trend the last few games, and he doesn't. The one exciting thing we've seen from him was that assist that he got, where he just ran down the left-hand side and made the cross last game for the goal for Duncan. Outside of that, I'm failing to think of a moment in the last 5 or 6 games that Facu
he could have scored in this game,
anything
but
of
he was out of
significance.
position. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, and like all the chances that we had to win this, like to tie this up, none of them were Facu. It was Wilder, Angula, Arujo, Wilder, like Mikey Holiday, Nico. So he wasn't bringing anything to the table, and he got taken off last. He got taken off for Muriel, so he should have been taken off instead of Ojeda. I agree, and then way before he was, because he didn't contribute anything again.
Now, Facundo Torres in the stats, we have about 100 and almost 155 people live right now. Thank you. 140 on X and about 13 people on YouTube. Thank you so much. Let's read some comments, and then I'll go with my assessment with Facundo Torres. JCB's 95. How would we rate our new signings this season so far? I mean, clearly our 9, it's been a botch right now. I mean, that's all I'm saying. He's not scoring goals. They asked him this question. You may want to check the footage for the post press conference. They asked Pareja that question, and he pretty much stopped apologizing for him. He said, he knows what he needs to do to make it in the MLS. I've already spoken to him. He knows what the expectation is. It's no longer the gelling or the gluing. So that told me that it's
Oscar is asking the tough questions to Muriel.
yeah. So Wolf Jacks, Paul, I agree 100% on your take on Facu versus Ojeda. I haven't seen him dribble past a defender, run past a defender, and win a defensive ball against a defender. Thank you, Wolf. Appreciate it. Amen to all. Thanks for granting this pod to us. Shout out to the Jungle Boys. I still love for life. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you,
There you
String
go.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go to church and eat your body later. Thank you. Daniel Phillips, why do you think Ojeda gets disrespected by the coaching staff so much?
I asked the same thing.
Yo,
Daniel.
I think it's just Oscar prefers Facu for some reason and just always go. I don't know. It's a very
there's a stigma because he's a DP and that he's.
But Ojeda's a DP too, so I don't get it.
but Facundo came to be like the face of the brand.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the golden boy, the golden boy.
It's kind of like when DC United got Edison Flores from Peru, and Rooney left, retired, and then he became the face of the brand, and then obviously he was the biggest flop in MLS history, and then they didn't know what to do with him, so. Jeffrey we gotta call Gaston and Petrasso back.
You know that I was thinking the other day, Jeffrey, about Gaston and Petrasso. I'm like, is this the moment that we should panic and call the loans? I'm like, hey, go back to the team. We need ya.
No.
So Facundo Torres made 7 completed passes in the final third. For a DP. And for a player that needs to be influential in the attacking third, making 7 passes in the final third the whole game is unacceptable. You know who made the most passes in the final third? Santos with 10, and then Cesar with 15.
Wilder.
So you have a D mid. Actually, our D mid, our double pivot, had a great game in this game. And actually one of them had to do double duty because he had to play center back. Now, after that, we see on the stats, Facu Torres making only 5 crosses attempts the whole game. 5 crosses the whole game. So, and to me, that needs to change. So I don't know what it is, man. I think they need to have a talk with him or something. I don't know. I feel like he's just becoming a role player, and if we're going to just have a team full of role players, we're going to have nobody to take the bull by the horn, especially in the attack. Like we need to see some personality from someone. Right, John? I mean, it's crazy to me. But let's read some comments real quick here. Victor Sanchez. So now who could be the best number 10 player? Ojeda could do that job. For now, let's go Pride. I still love Orlando City, but I can see them losing. Says Victor Sanchez. Facu's face is on the poster, plaster all over the city. That's why. There you go. Misael said it right. Who's that? Is that Robin? Or is that Marta? Oh, that's Marta. Yeah. There you go. So, I do have to say, we're gonna be hit by injuries, and especially with the fullbacks. And Orlando City has gone. They have 2 really tough matches ahead. One against Philadelphia, which ain't doing so great either, but it's Philadelphia. We're gonna play in Subaru Park, and then the other one is against Inter Miami. Club Internacional Inter Miami. Right, that's how they call themselves, right? So honestly, both fullbacks are going to be our Dagger Dan was concussed in this game. He had
Can we talk about that for a minute, Luis?
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Poor Dagger got beat up. I mean, we got beat up in several players here, but Dagger got smacked into like concussed about the 25th minute, then managed to play on, struggled on for the rest of the second half, really, and then at the end of the second half, like I have to go back and watch the whole game and figure out exactly where he just dropped, but it's really worrying whenever that happens to a player. So, I
He
think,
was by himself, yeah.
yeah, like
When
that,
it happened, I was confused.
it was a
Mhm.
delayed reaction to the hit that he
Yeah.
got before. And they did all the checks on him. They checked him like when he first went down and he got cleared to come back on, but clearly something was up because he just went down again for the concussion, and he got subbed out for that concussion. And we saw that rule come in when we got an extra sub and an extra sub window. But hoping Dagger is going to be okay. With this quick turnaround concussion, they usually have to be out for a little bit, I think, for safety. So maybe he's out. And then the other one, Haffa, man, his whole shoulder was
Oh my
hanging
God, I
out
saw
of his
that.
arm.
Oh.
And he's just like running off the field, like my shoulder. I'm like, bro, no wonder you're like sub me out. Your shoulder is out of his socket.
When he came up, I told Alec, I'm like, he just popped up his shoulder. He's like, no,
Yeah.
he didn't. I'm like, he's dislocated his shoulder. Like, look at his shoulder. It's like hanging out. It was. I felt so bad for him, and for Dagger too. Like for both. Like
So
this, like
that shows
it
how
was a
physical
first.
they were. They beat us. Like Miazga and Robinson they're bully. I mean, they see that we're rough and like they play a way more physical game than us, I think.
That's why I said WWE. We played WWE. We didn't play soccer on Saturday. We played WWE.
Yeah, it's insane. Here's the MLS concussion checklist, which I'm not gonna. I mean, it looks like a labyrinth or something. You know what I mean? It has all these
mess.
arrows and colors. But we're gonna look. I think when it comes to Dagger, I think we'll probably see him back. I don't know if we're gonna see Rafa back. I mean, he's gonna need some time off. And now, who are our fullbacks? You got Mikey Holiday and Kyle Smith. Good old Kyle Smith is back. What is your expectation coming up, Philly, with possibly Mikey Holiday and Kyle Smith as your fullbacks? I mean, Mikey Holiday did well.
Yeah, I mean, he could have scored, man. He was really unlucky where he had that deflected shot and it went, and then the Celentano made like a really good last second, like above his head save on his shot. But Mikey was flying up and down that right wing. Like he needs to be a little better with his positioning and the way that what he does in the final third. But I think having not played in a long time, it was pretty encouraging what we saw from him.
Yeah, I think Mikey goes really good offensively. I just think defensively, I think he needs to had a little bit more grit, kind of like what Kyle Smith does. So Kyle Smith doesn't have the speed and the pace that Mikey, but Mikey has the speed and the pace. And he needs to kind of, I don't know. That's how I feel. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Yeah. Now against Philadelphia is going to be a tough. True. Against Philadelphia is going to be a tough game. Now let's read some comments. Can't wait to see Muriel's first goal. If that dude scores, man, it's going to be, he's going to celebrate like it was a Champions League goal.
When he came on, I was like, imagine if Muriel scores the equalizer when we're man down. Like, we need him to step up in a moment like that, and it'll be wonderful.
Now this is Muriel is embarrassing, says Alex Miles. It says, there you go. Alex, who you could have brought into the Lions? Give us your picks. Who would have you picked as a 9? It would be great to know. Alex Miles says Oscar has to go. He's terrible. Number 2, Muriel is embarrassing. 3 is Inter Fort Lauderdale. They don't play in Miami. No, you're completely right. They are Inter Fort Lauderdale. They don't play in Miami. And then Guille Carlos says, my shoulder comes out of the socket. Really? My shoulder comes out of the socket all the time. It hurts, but he should be back fast unless it was more than just coming out of the socket. Hopefully.
He was
I never had that
crying.
happen.
He was
Yeah,
crying.
he was done. And because of his face, like, I don't know if, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not a professional, but I know Dagger Dan is probably, hopefully, he's going to be back. So hopefully we got them both back. You know, it'd be great. We haven't heard anything yet from medical. It says Rafa looked like Woody when he needed stitches. This is JCB's 95. Thank you so much.
That's so bad, and I want to laugh so bad too because I just remember like a movie. But yeah,
It says Imari Williams. Oh, there you go, Mr. Imari Williams says, I would like to see Mikey or Freeman get a shot at it, a real shot at it. I
100%.
agree. Yeah, I mean, the injury bug. If it's, we have OCB, you know, I totally agree. Anyone but Muriel at this point. It can get any worse than how he's performing. Modric was making some rumors for the MLS. Well, that would have been amazing. Luka Modric in the MLS, that would have been great.
I don't want to sign any more
Instead
old
of Nico?
players, Luis. Can we like
Well,
like we're in
Under 20
danger of doing another Muriel situation.
No, but I think
you go sign
Alex-
yourself
I think-
another
I think
34,
Alex is-
35,
I think
36 year old.
I think Alex is right. I think Muriel has been, I mean, his performance has been terrible. And,
He has been terrible. That's why I'm like, I don't want any more guys that potentially could also be over the hill and no good like anymore.
We can say, I mean, I don't know if we can say that he's been a flop. I think after all these matches, I think we could say that's probably been a little bit of a flippity floppity. Yeah.
And people get it, Kara.
If you'd have asked the Toronto fans the preseason what they thought of Bernardeschi, they would be like, dude was a total waste of money. We got to transfer him out. Ask the Toronto fans what they think of Bernardeschi now.
No,
It's
he's
gonna be
like,
a very different story. And that it's like the third year that he's been there as a DP. They're not going to get rid of Muriel after 6 months, but if a whole year goes by and he hasn't scored a goal, then I would definitely liquidate that contract.
I think Alex is in our onto something here, because we agree 100% here too. We need help in the midfield. You can confirm Modric to Muriel. Modric will come in right away and make an impact. Yeah. I think we needed a 10. We needed a Luciano Acosta, right? We said it.
Well, we said it since last season. We have been saying that.
A Carlos Hill. You know, now that New England is kind of going into this refinding themselves, Carlos Hill in Orlando City would have been phenomenal having him here. You know, a great number 10. You know, somebody like Hani Mukhtar, you know. Like we need that type of 10, right? And obviously you got Nico with his experience and his years in the MLS, subbing in at minute 65, holding down the game. We've seen some of the best performances for Nico John have been coming off the bench at certain times of the game, right?
I think it's Nico is good off the bench when we need him and we need another 10 to come in and do that role. But like we said, we want to give Ojeda the time to really make that position his own. And we see him being played there, but it just hasn't been working out so far. But I still think that he's the right guy that we've got right now on the roster to put there.
It says, at what point do we give Lynn more minutes, as JC Beast?
Probably this summer.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think when Duncan leaves, and I mean, I know for a fact, I'm sure the team is going to bring somebody else if he's going to go. I mean, I have a feeling that that's what we're going to be seeing. You know, now it's not going to be an Oliver Giroud. It's not going to be a Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but it's probably going to be an under 22 initiative player, right? And you have to understand, Ramiro Enrique is probably going to be back soon, hopefully. So he has still probably a couple of weeks, right, to deal with his nagging injury. He says, also, we need a new coach. Can't watch another week of parking the bus or just a lack of effort on the field, says Alex Miles. Victor Sanchez, I just went for City to win a championship like in the USL. Thank you so much for your comments. Yeah, we are 213 people total right now. Thank you so much for your support. 192 on X, about 20 people on YouTube. That's a record, right, John? Paola, that's a pretty good record. So now that we talked about all the negative, now do we have any positive outlook? Paola, you go.
Well, we didn't concede another goal with 10 men over 70 minutes, so that's a positive.
Now, coming for what, John, for what we just saw in Cincinnati, being down 10 men, playing, you said we played better than when we had 11 men. What's your outlook for what's coming? Because we have 2 tough games coming up, and Orlando kept fighting, but again, we kept fighting, but we didn't get the W.
It's do or die, man. And I do like the kind of fight that I saw from this team. I liked how aggressive we were being before the red card. We looked more direct. We were trying to put balls in behind. The guys were making runs. It looked, for me, like they had made a real effort to be on the front foot, to be aggressive, to play to our strengths, like play around the wings, play in the transition. We need to go and apply that same thing that we saw in that little period of this game to these next games. If we go at it with that energy, then I think we have a chance. But we've also got to just, like every week, there's something. If it's not the end of the game, it's the beginning of the game. We just got to have 90 minutes of full concentration and not making silly mistakes like giving up late goals or giving up red cards, giving up ridiculously early goals. It's just too many mistakes, and it has to be cleaned up. But I think that there's encouraging signs from the football. I know people are fed up and frustrated. I get that. But I do see that, like I did see this game, they're trying to play a different style from what I've seen, a more aggressive and more attacking style. So I'm hopeful that we'll see that in these next games coming up. But it's a really, really hard test for the team. It's either going to go one way or the other. We're either going to survive and come out of this time and get some big results against some big teams, or we're going to just completely implode and go further down. I don't know how we go any further down the table, but we can.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you ask me, I feel that we're definitely going to make the playoffs. Definitely the expectations that the team had in the beginning of the year are definitely gone. The whole let's go support the shield, and like even Eli Lesser, and even who are those other guys? Well,
everybody that picked us to do well.
Tom Bogert. I don't know. I think we need to bring a priest, a rabbi. We need to put some sage in the stadium. I think we got some, like Paula said, some bad juju that came to us, right? But I think we still have a playoff team now. Playoffs should be the standard now for Orlando, right? So, we'll again, the unpredictability of what's next. It astonishes me, but it's definitely one of the worst starts they've had in the past few years. So,
well,
I'm hoping.
We're only 10 out of 34 games in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So there's 24 games yet to play. There's like about a third of the way through the season. So we've got 2/3 of the season still to get ourselves up into the playoffs. That's the challenge. Let's see where we are later in the summer. I think that a lot of people want change, and they want it now, and they've had enough, and they're fed up of this, and they're done.
Yep.
And I have no problem if that's the way you feel. I'm just thinking that it could look different in a few months. It could not. We could continue to be terrible and be at the bottom of the table. That could happen. But last year we didn't struggle as much as this, but we were not doing well till almost the summer, and then it all came together for the second half of the year. So if we still got time to figure it out. That's what I would say. We still got time to figure it out, and there's summer windows there to make changes if we have to, or if we want to, or we don't know what's going to happen with the team in the summer. A lot of things could change. So we just got to try and remain positive during all of this terrible results. So it's hard to do. It's hard to do.
It's definitely hard, and for the fans, I feel for them for sure, and it's part of the sport, and through thick and thin, and you also got to know how your team gets players and what type of players they get, because you also have to do not far-fetched assumptions or far-fetched picks of who you want in the team. Like I will love Jack Grealish, like I said, on Lukaku, right, John? I've been saying it since the beginning, since we met. I would love them to be in purple, but that's just my far-fetched dream. But I live in reality, I live in the Matrix. This is the real life. So we have to know where we are, where we stand, what type of club we are, and how do we hire players also. Low cost, high reward. That's how the team has been doing since ever. So we're going to keep doing that, but probably there's going to be new players coming in. I know if Duncan leaves, there's going to be a new player coming in for sure. Now, Copa America, a lot of people were concerned about Copa America. Galese and Cartagena are definitely going to be with Peru. Their preliminary list will be coming up in a few days. Based on my reports from over there in Peru, Galese and Cartagena are definitely going to go to Copa America. So Orlando's going to be without them. Now, different stories for Araujo and Facu. From my understanding is Facu it's not doing so well. I think he has 1 goal and 1 assist this all the way through 2024. And Bielsa reports say from Uruguay that he's not in Bielsa's good graces. So we may keep Facu in OCSC. Same with Araujo. From my understanding is them both are probably not going to go now. And then the rest of the players are going to be available. So we're keeping, aside of Cartagena and in Galese, we're keeping the whole squad tight and together. Now, obviously, Duncan's going to be probably leaving for the Olympics as well. So we'll probably lose him also. But those 3 players, I think those are going to be the ones that are going to be possibly taking a little hike. It says, let's read some comments real quick. No problem. It says Victor Sanchez, 24 games left. That's 72 points for City, and if they win all games from now on, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, there's points. We win half the game. There's points.
JCV's 95. El Cuy Mágico can break the curse. That's right. In Peru, we believe in the guinea pig. Guinea pig has powers, magical powers. You just got to rub it on the players. Rub a guinea pig.
How many? Only one?
Only one. One per player.
One. Okay, so we need like how many? 30 guinea pigs?
You have to get 30 guinea pigs. A whole farm.
I'm going to buy them then. I'm going to,
right.
Come here.
Get on it.
And they got Galisa should know and Carta. Just rub the cuy around, some little sage right there, a little prayer, and then you should be good to go. OC needs to hire a therapist, get the lads in check, and give them the big club mentality. There you go. Thank you, Jeffrey O. Victor Sanchez, a positive comment. City will beat Philly. Vamos, Orlando. Thank you so much.
Amen, Victor.
There you go. Man, we're going to have a photographer for the Philly game. I do want to announce that.
Nice.
So my friend Sofia Testa is going to be doing some pictures for us. Hopefully the good people from Philly give us the accreditation. That way we're able to go in the game. It says FC Cincy knocked out Duncan's shoulder. I don't know what LY is. I'm too old, John. LY.
Last year.
LY. Last year too. Okay, sorry. Last year too, and I think he was out a month or so.
I
Yeah,
forgot
I
about
remember
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miazga was
Miazga's
man,
a dirty player, man.
So
I remember when he went to Chelsea, they made a big deal about it.
He's just a bad guy.
Yeah. Go ahead. What did you say, Paula?
no, I was gonna say, so twice from Cincy hurt our players in the shoulders. Huh.
Yeah.
No.
It's insane.
Unacceptable.
Well, anything else we have, John, before we close? Or are we good?
No, I just want to say that in the last game, Wilder hit the crossbar. Angulo's finish was cleared off the line. Arujo's shot was deflected just wide. Wilder's shot of goal was called back for offside. Halliday's shot was tipped just over the bar. Ladero's header in the last seconds was saved by Celentano's left hand. One of those goes in, and we tie a game 1-1, 10 men down. It's a very, very different outlook on this match. So right now, everything is on a knife edge. That's the phrase I'm using. It's on a knife edge, Louise. Every game is falling the wrong way for us right now, but they could start falling the right way. And I'm hoping that starts to happen. I get that everybody's frustrated. I'm frustrated too. We don't like the situation. We're just sticking in there and keeping faith for now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we just gotta keep supporting the club, and through thick and thin. I know. I think everyone at the press box was just super utterly frustrated as well. You know what I mean? Because
how did we not score that game?
We have the squad, and it's just we see other teams that last year did horrible. Look at Galaxy right now, for example. Look at Galaxy with Pancil, with Peck, right? And I do want to say I do believe that next season, tough decisions have to be made. They have to be made for sure for some players. Some players' contracts are up, and we gotta sign players like Peck. Like Peck from Vasco, he was one of the best players in Brasileirão. Pancil, look what those two players did to one team. So I don't think the fans are looking for the far-fetched stuff, but if you look at the reality of the situation, real players that you can target, Peck and Pancil are the type of players Orlando City signs. So I think that type of caliber players that we're looking for, we need to have, especially a 10, another center back, a little bit of some help for Robin, and we'll see. But I think we got to keep it positive, because it is like that. Sometimes it's a roller coaster ride, right, Paola? What are your final thoughts?
I mean, I'm a person that consumes energy, right? And you will see me always happy because I want to transmit that energy to you so you can be happy and positive. So whatever we're thinking, we're sending it to the field. So I still have faith. Like we're not even in the half of the season.
Yeah.
If we need a new coach for next year, let it be next year. So let's see what happens, but I'm positive. I'm not gonna drop the ball. I'm not gonna say, oh, we lost everything, blah blah blah. Hey, there's still games to play.
Now, Misael Rosa says, I feel like we need someone that's been there, done that the guys can follow. I mean, that guy should be Muriel.
Or Nico. I
And
think
I can
Nico
feel,
could be the 10 again for us if we just played him. The problem is he I don't know if he can play all the time because of his age, but he can do the role. If we put him in that, he definitely can.
yeah, I mean, but I guess what Misael is saying is obviously Nico. He's a great locker room guy, probably a great presence, but he's gonna come. I mean, the whole point of them getting Nico, I guess people were assuming, is for him not to be a starter, for him to come in minute 50, right, minute 65, right,
But if we need a leader in the attack and Muriel's not doing it, then
yeah.
Nico will do that. You know,
Now,
if you ask him to.
another player that should have a little bit more of a leadership presence, it's our DP, man. It's either Ojeda or Facu, but again, we don't have a true leader. It says Victor Sanchez, let's City to start Muriel and Duncan again. There you go. Guille Carlos, we need 20 Kui for Schlegel. We need 20 guinea pigs for Schlegel. There you go. Vamos Orlando. City can get 72 points. Heart. There you go. That's the spirit. Milton Rosa, someone that can still go. Nico is a bench player now. No, yeah. Kind of like when Nani was, right? So I think that's the closest example,
I think since Nani, we haven't seen a captain with that mentality like Nani.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
No, I mean, Robin is a good captain, but I just feel that.
I mean, that.
In the defensive side of things, I agree that he's a presence, but offensively, there's no one that can command that attack. So I totally agree there for sure. So we have the Pride Pod tomorrow, right? Or Rainbows and Sunshines with the Pride, for sure. We're gonna talk about that. Also, we have another pod coming up on Thursday for LPO for this to preview the game against Philly. And again, we want to tell you guys to follow us on our social media outlets. We are available on X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as LPO_podcast. I do want to say a couple things real quick. We are at 901 subs right now. We are 100 away from the 1K mark. That is a huge feat. We should definitely plan something with the fans, John. Maybe we should, we could go to a little get together or something. I don't know. If maybe we
gotta do something for the 1K mark.
Yeah. And definitely it's going to be great. I do want to thank everyone for your support. I think John and Paul have been a huge part of the success of what the pod has become. So I think both of them are also equally and even more so, kudos to them, 110%, for all everything they put in for the pod. So, and for you guys, it's great to see you guys support us and watch us. 281 people watching us right now, 260 on X and 23 on YouTube. So thank you so much for your support. Also, on Instagram, I forgot my Instagram people. Thank you so much to everybody watching on Instagram as well. Jim D says, I'll listen tomorrow. Looks like I missed it tonight. Thank for the OC content, says Jim D. Thank you, Jim D. Appreciate it.
You can always catch us later, right, Luis, on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you want to listen to us later if you miss us live. But we'll be back on Thursday.
That's right. It says Victor Sanchez, let's bring winter back. That's right. Stream Jesus, I'm so proud of you guys, my children. The grind is real. The grind is respectable. There you go. Victor Sanchez, one more thing to say. Vamos Orlando. There you go. We'll leave with that. Thank you guys for your support. Keep supporting us, and Vamos Orlando. Take care, guys.
Vamos Orlando.
Orlando.